right, so this is our lesson. We're going to continue the lesson on creating a game to identify 2D shapes. So what I need everyone to do is, if you're not already logged into Scratch, log into Scratch. You're going to go to My Stuff, and you're going to open the 2D game that you submitted to me. I'm going to open up a different one. Mine's going to look a little different, and I'm going to modify it. But everyone's going to be looking at something a little bit different. We won't all have the exact same shapes. But you are going to be adding to what you've already done. So when you get this opened up, go ahead and right-click in here and clean up your blocks so they're all stacked up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause a moment, and then I'm going to go in and show you what we're going to be looking at. All right, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to be adding something new to our coding, and this is what you're going to see.
Hello, I am a hexagon. I have 6 sides and 6 vertices. I am a plane shape. I am a 2D shape.
So we're adding a few extra blocks. So the reason you're opening up one that you already started, because there's no need to completely start over. We're also going to be adding a sprite. And when we add this sprite, it's going to, everything that we said about the 2D shape, we're going to have it typed, and we're going to locate it in a new place. So we may not get to that on today's lesson, but we are going to code one like this. Now, everyone has gotten a Xerox copy of a paper with some code on it. At the very top where it says where space key, erase all, remember that code? Draw an X through this on the paper. When we're all done, that is something we're going to delete. Now, your code may not look like this particular code for a square, but that's okay. Some of you guys have a little bit of this typed at the bottom. Some of you may not have any of it because I ran out of paper that had the typed copies. So before I pause the recording, everybody is going to need to write this information. You're going to be, because these are the blocks we're adding to your already existing code. All right, we're not starting from square one. We're starting at the end of the code you already did. So technically, under this last block, pin up, you're going to type in wait block, which is a control block, and we're going to be holding it for 0.5 seconds. Then we're going to add a text talk block. If you have this already typed out, just scratch this through. We did some problem solving in second period, and we learned the particular look block was not going to work for us. We're going to add another wait block after that, which comes from control. We don't know for how many seconds. We will have to problem solve that. And then we're going to end it with an erase all block, because we are going to program all of our shapes to draw when they press the correct key, speak to us, and then show us that information in a text block. And the reason we're doing this is it was discussed during second period that if we're doing this game, or creating this game for kindergartners and first graders, they probably can't read our instructions, can they? No. So they don't know what they're doing. So we needed to talk to them. And if we are teaching them what a 2D shape is, it needs to tell them the attributes. So we're adding that to that. So for right now, I'm gonna pause the recording. Everyone's gonna make sure they have this written down on their paper, and then go ahead and write this information here about shape attributes. The reason I have the name octagon and the number for the sides and vertices underlined, those are the 3 places you'll change depending on your shape. Because of course, if I'm going to do an hexagon, I'm not going to type octagon here. Boy, I can't talk right now. And I'm going to change the sides. So while I have this pause, or if you're watching the recording, pause it, write all this down. All right, so right now, everybody should have this information completed. And we're going to be using this. We're going to add these blocks here to our coding. So we're going to go into Scratch. This is your 2D shape program. So everybody should be looking at their Scratch program. we're gonna all have a different shape right here. So we're not gonna worry about that. And I need to make a quick change because I was doing a nested loop. Now, before we can do anything else, remember when we added the pins? Come down here to extensions. We've got to add the text-to-speech blocks. So we're going to click on this. This is the pin we added right here, text-to-speech. Not translate, but this one. So you're going to click on it. It's going to add 3 whole blocks. So we're all going to do that right now in Scratch. So if you're not looking at Scratch, you should be looking at your program. Scroll down to the bottom of the blocks. Click on this blue box with the 2 white lines on the plus. Just scroll down a little bit to see this second row, very first block option, and click text to speech. This is what it adds, and this is what it sounds like.
Hello.
You can change the sound. It can. This is alto.
Hello.
This is tenor.
Hello.
Which is a very common text voice that you hear on videos. There's a squeak.
Hello.
It just makes it slightly higher. This giant makes it a little lower.
Hello.
Now, this one you're going to listen to, you absolutely cannot use kitten.
Yeah.
We're not going to use that. All right, so what you're going to do, you're going to select your voice, and you're going to bring those blocks over. Now, setting the language, it's going to automatically set to English. If you are proficient in typing in Spanish and can do a translated one for us, like you can, then you need to choose this block, determine. I think you need to go ahead and select Spanish, but thinking about it, I want you to type a couple words actually in Spanish, and then let's test it. Okay, well, you may not, because if I do this and I change it to Spanish, it will do this.
Hello.
It's kind of giving it an accent. I would, hopefully you can just type in Spanish, and we'll test it. All right, now, but I've got something wrong here. If I look at my notes, what is this one block I said we need to add first?
Weight block. Weight block.
The weight block. Where do we find it? Yes, the control. So let's come up here to control. That's the orange ones. Here's the weight block. And I asked everyone to make this a 0.5. This is a weight block just to kind of like catch your breath. This is before we get started. Now, looking at the notes, what comes after the weight block? So look at what you wrote down. What is this? Look at your notes. Who can tell me what block that's supposed to come after weight? The text to speech. That's the ones we just added, which is what we just set up. Our voice and our hello. I'm going to pause it, and I want everyone to take a moment to figure out which one they want, alto, tenor, squeak, or giant. All right, so at this point, you've decided which one is going to be your voice. Now, looking at our notes, after the text to talk, we need 2 more blocks. What are those blocks? Look on your notes. What did you write down? I've got my cursor right here. Who can tell me? Look at your notes. What comes? The weight block, and then what's our last one? Thank you, erase all. So come back to control, bring over a weight block, then come down to pen, and that's when you're going to bring over your erase all. We are programming this to draw, talk, and then erase itself. Okay? So you should have 5 additional blocks. I just moved it over. These are the 5 additional blocks you have. Everybody check. Do you have those? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Have what?
These are the 5 additional blocks. All right. So these are the additional blocks. This is what you wrote down. Weight, our text to speech, a weight, and erase. This is added to your shape. Thumbs up if you've done this. All right. You guys got it? What you're going to do now, this is very important. Right here where it says hello, click in that box and then put a period after hello. This is where you're going to be typing in the attributes of your shape. I have a square. I'm going to make this an S because I had something else. So I've got to type in the attributes of a square. What am I typing in? These notes right here. I'm not typing in the word shape attributes. I'm typing all of this. I'm, of course, going to have to say I am a square. I have 4 sides, I have 4 vertices, and then the rest are the same. I could actually add in I am a special type of rectangle, because if you remember first grade, they teach you that. So depending on your shape, you type in the information right here, okay? So, I am a square. I have 4 sides and 4 vertices. Oh, I think I just misspelled that. Vertices. I am a plane shape. I am a 2D shape. All right, everyone needs to do this right now. Depending on your shape, you've got to type in the attributes. I am going to pause my recording while everyone in the classroom is typing this. If you are watching this recording, you need to be typing this now also. All right, now you've completely finished this. We've got enough. We're going to go ahead and add a few seconds. We're going to add a 5 to this. This is something we may be alternating also, either increasing or decreasing, because the next how-to video is going to explain how we're going to create a sprite that's going to have all of this information here. So now take what you just learned on your first shape, apply all of this to your other shapes. So the goal is to have a voice speak, a text-to-speak block with all the information for each one of the 4 shapes you currently have. Then I'll talk to you about what else you're going to add. If you have any questions, email Ms. Dunn or ask me in class.